Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, one former WYMT morning anchor shares her breast cancer journey. And anglers across the state are mourning the loss of one of their own, how they are honoring Peyton Hughes with a nationwide benefit.
And welcome to October. We'll talk about the stats for the new month coming up.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley and welcome to October. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month and healthcare workers are urging folks to get checked regularly. Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky's radiology department has helped countless patients, including one that's very close to us here at WYMT. WYMT's Neely Green spoke to former WYMT anchor Chas Gayhart, who is sharing her story publicly for the first time.
Former WYMT morning anchor Chas Gayhart works at Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky as their public relations coordinator. Working in a health clinic, Gayhart sees her coworkers caring for patients every day. But one day in June, she became a patient herself.
I could feel something and knew that I needed to come in and see this team that was right here in the clinic with me.
Gayhart was diagnosed with breast cancer. By September 5th, she had experienced countless biopsies, mammograms, and other medical procedures, including a lumpectomy. Although it was an intimidating and vulnerable time, the radiology team supported her through the process.
That can make a huge difference just talking to the patients, like especially when I have a patient who is having a mammogram for the very first time. You know, they're always really nervous, so I do my best to try to slow down, explain it to them, talk them through the process.
Each woman part of Gayhart's journey, from standing by her side from the start to sitting by her now. Brittany Miller says it's important to be a source of comfort for her patients.
I help get the patients ready for the biopsies, kind of explain everything before they get started so they're not scared when they go in the room. My grandmother had breast cancer and it was a scary time for her. And I don't feel like she had as much of that when she was going through it, so I like to be that support system for people.
Primary Care partners with the University of Kentucky to make that same care in Lexington available here in the mountains.
They come here 2 to 3 Wednesdays a month, and we do diagnostics. They read them on site, and we do the biopsies, ultrasound guided here as well. And then pathology is also sent to UK.
Gayhart says although Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October, awareness should be spread all year round. And she's going to use her story to start that conversation.
I can be that encouraging person that says, I'm a breast cancer survivor, and you may not even have it, but at least come and get it checked by people right here at home.
In Perry County, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
I'm so happy that Chas is doing well. She says when she had her mammogram and biopsy that it was not a long process and it did not hurt. And the radiology team wants folks to know that they are just a phone call away. Today also marks the beginning of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Domestic violence is a pattern of abusive behavior used from one person to another in a relationship to maintain power and control. In West Virginia, for example, 61% of women in that state experience domestic violence in their lifetime. That's according to World Population Review. One expert says there are some things you can look for, including physical injuries and isolation.
Another thing that you can often see is the person who's causing harm is controlling what they do, where they go, monitoring them for for an example, seeing where they're at, when they're going to be there, when they're going to come home.
While physical or sexual violence are what are most commonly associated with it, there is also verbal or financial abuse. Our warm start to October is expected to continue for a few days. First Alert meteorologist Eric Dean has our first look at the forecast. Eric.
Oh my goodness, Steve, it was beautiful today. Look at the temperatures outside. This is October 1st, ladies and gentlemen. How about upper 70s and low 80s? Look at Monticello, 84 degrees. We're sitting at 83 in Manchester. Hazard's at 81. Jackson's at 78. 81 is the temperature in Prestonsburg. Logan is at 77. Keep in mind, our average high for this time of year is only 74 degrees, so we are way above normal in terms of temperature. Live pinpoint Doppler radar showing a clean sweep throughout the area. We're seeing some false returns being picked up on the radar scans. If you have plans tonight, here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. Look at this tower cam there. Wall-to-wall sunshine is the name of the game. We'll see clear skies as we go throughout your evening hours. By 9 o'clock, we'll see a temperature right around 69 degrees. We'll go to the mid-60s as we go throughout the evening and the early part of your overnight hours. Now, the question is, how long is this stretch of nice weather going to last? Is it going to last throughout the weekend? Details on the First Alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. 2 people were taken to the hospital after a crash in Laurel County. According to the Crossroads Fire Department, it happened just before 11:30 a.m. on Highway 490. One of those involved in the collision was flown to UK Hospital to be treated for severe injuries. Also in Laurel County, one man is facing charges after he was accused of assaulting a woman. Police were called a little after 10:30 last night. Police say Corey Posey forced his way into the victim's home and threatened them before hitting a woman on the back of her head. Posey had left the area but was later arrested at an apartment complex in the southern part of the county. In Louisville, an explosion at a chemical plant today. Officials received word about that explosion at approximately 11:30 a.m. at Carbide Industries in the Rubbertown area along the Ohio River. The cause of the fire is believed to have stemmed from a possible overflow of product from the furnace, but it's still under investigation. No injuries were reported among any of the employees working there. The federal government shutdown continues. This comes as Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill failed to come to an agreement to extend government funding ahead of a deadline at midnight. Roughly 750,000 federal workers were expected to be furloughed, with some even possibly fired by the Trump administration.
We've been working around the clock, more days, more votes than any Senate in modern history or ever before. And actually, we're able to get appropriations bills across the finish line. The interesting thing about that is when Democrats were in charge just a year ago, they got 0 bills across the finish line, but yet they voted for this very same CR.
The government is expected to produce its monthly jobs report on Friday, which may or may not be delivered. More people are being kicked off SNAP benefits in Kentucky. The Associated Press reports the number of disqualifications has gone up in the last 5 years. Federal data from 2023 shows Kentucky is second in the nation in disqualifying people from the SNAP program. During the last decade, disqualifications went from fewer than 100 in 2015 to more than 1,800 in 2023. A disease impacting deer continues to spread across Kentucky. Wildlife officials say there have been more than 550 reports of hemorrhagic disease, also known as HD. It's been detected in 94 counties. HD is not contagious to humans and does not spread to most pets. But if you find a sick deer, report it to wildlife officials. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, one of Kentucky's bordering states is increasing its minimum wage for workers.
And it's quiet now, but how long will this stretch of nice weather last? Details coming up.